Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And we're live. Welcome to Low Effort Monday. I am your host, Jay Fry, and with me are the guys. I didn't even bother this. How's it going, Sean?
Well, it's Monday. We're here. A glorious return to YouTube after yet another 2-week hiatus. Hooray.
Did you see my hate speech?
Well, I saw that you got a strike for hate speech, yes.
Uh,
Or a warning, I should say. That's the first
no,
one.
no, they took. Well, it's a strike, and they took the whole thing down.
Well, yeah, they take the offending video offline. And they leave
I
it
can't
into
even
this,
tell when I was from.
Yeah, they have this weird limbo state that you can go through and review it. But yeah, it doesn't give you any usable information. The only way I had to figure out when the last one we got popped for is because we had talked about current events, and the current events were 2 years ago. It was when Norm died, so that's how I could pin to when that was.
Oh, this was so old. It was back when I was talking about spooky shit and Greasy and Bryden were on. That's how far back it was.
Yeah.
We're talking like possibly early or before the Trump administration. No, would have been after the Trump administration because anyway, so Garrick's currently not with us. He's busy taking a shower. Is my assumption from the last I heard from a fight that was being had.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the shower now. And the best part is he goes back and listens to these. I don't know why. God, I wouldn't. Except for poor G. Fry's Poorly Reviewed Books. If you haven't tuned into that episode on my channel. No? It's your channel.
No, the Poorly Reviewed Books was on yours, I think.
Don't, actually. That's a clusterfuck. But,
yeah, because I was worried we were going to lose the stream entirely because you kept disconnecting.
Yeah. Makes sense. No. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense to me. Timing out from the hangout, maybe.
Maybe it was on mine. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, I think it was.
It would have been one of the first ones we did.
Yeah. Since I don't give a single shit about the movie, and did you watch it?
Many years ago when I had an anime phase, yes.
Oh, well, I didn't, so. I mean, you and Garrett could talk about it if you watched it, if he comes back.
Yeah, well...
after a shower.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle on that one. I don't hate it like Matt did, but I don't adore it. It's one of those ones that Studio Ghibli just gets too much credit. And I can't say that it's bad because it's not, but it's also not good.
I'm more of an Amblin Entertainment guy.
Yeah. You like them Bergs, do you?
The Prehysteria was Amblin, wasn't it?
I have no idea. I just know that that's Spielberg's thing.
Oh, wait, no, then I'm not thinking of Amblin. I'm thinking of
Illumination?
Illuminate. No. Actually, I do like the Bergs, so I won't ship that. Yeah, so it's not Amblin Entertainment. It's the not. It's Full Moon production, but it's the child side of Full Moon. I could have sworn it was Amblin, but no, you're right. Full Moon. Can't think of the name of it, but like Prehysteria, Small Soldiers,
What the hell?
Toy Soldiers. That's actually an adult, not adult, but it's more graphic. Or I have those two backwards, maybe. Small Soldiers. What is Prehysteria? I'm gonna look it up now. It's got the kid from My Girl 2, not to be confused with the kid from My Girl. He's allergic to bees. He can't see without his glasses.
Too soon, sir. Too soon.
Too soon. It's been
30 years.
yeah, 30
40,
years.
pushing up on 40, I think.
Yeah. Some movies just feel that way, though. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like movies that make me feel that way. It's not why I watch a movie.
Good God. Could have picked a better movie to spell than Prehysteria. Moonbeam Entertainment. Yeah. Good old Austin O'Brien. How many are there? Prehysteria, Prehysteria 2, Prehysteria 3. There might be 3 films in that. Stephen Lee. What was he in? He was a complete piece of shit. Oh, he died 2014. Wasn't Dolls, wasn't Pit in the Pendulum, so he was a shit. Negotiator? RoboCop 2, that's what he was in.
A long time since I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Although I find the main bad robot in that one to be a lot more terrifying than Ed 209 was, the first one.
Ed 209 was hilarious, though. Those big old feet. Who's got big old feet? Ed 209's got big old feet.
I liked Ed 209. I wanted Ed 209.
Oh, yeah. More believable than an AT-AT.
Aw. Now I'm sad.
Yeah.
And thank you for calling it an AT-AT. My kids call it an AT-AT, and I hate that.
That's like my nephew.
What sucks even worse is they got me with logic. They're like, well, you don't call it an AT, you call it an ATST. I'm like, yeah, well, then it's an AT-AT. I'm like, fuck you, kid.
Maybe you don't understand the concept of a long time ago in the future. I took my nephew. We were driving somewhere, I don't remember, but we passed by my brother's. He was working at ITT, and he goes, "I go, that's where your dad works." He goes, "He works at it." I was like, "I'm gonna tell your dad that."
Well, I have an IT degree, and I work in the IT department.
Well, yeah, but that's one T.
Yeah. Well, did he call AT&T at?
I don't know. I never passed an AT&T at the time when he was learning to read.
Well, since you didn't watch the movie review, then and I only watched the Blonde and Matt show at work today. Didn't catch it last night. Don't much care about the review. Don't much care about the list of movies that's up for review. Did you see anything interesting that we could actually talk about? Did you go watch the Mario movie?
I haven't seen the Mario yet. I'm waiting on Steven. So this stupid Twitter account um, got mouthy with they started posting um, convicted or oh, he's on mute, so when he gets off mute, hold on. But they started posting about the pedophilic GOP and all their pedophilia.
Was it Jarbo?
No, it was some. I don't even know who it was. It's a Proletaria one named Ariel. Some picture of a black guy. But it says the list of Republicans charged and convicted of sexual misconduct with underage minors. First one is a Republican county commissioner, David Schwartz. Fuck you, David Schwartz. Burn in hell. Pleaded guilty to molesting 2 girls under the ages of 11 and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Good for him. Immediately after that, it's an anti-abortionist Republican convicted of child rape.
What?
That's not a Republican. There's the Republican Party, and then there's Republicans. You're mixing the two together now. An anti-abortion activist is not a RNC goon or a GOP goon.
Well, no, dude. When you're on a team, you're on a team.
Republican anti-abortion activist again. Republican judge fondling girls. He pleaded no contest, which is a guilty plea. Pleaded guilty to possession of child pornography on his computer. Offered a bounty to anybody who murdered abortion doctors. Okay, that's not good. Now back to a Republican legislator. Got 10 years for raping his daughters between the ages of 9 and 17. Set him on fire. I don't care. Pedophiles are disgusting. Phoebophiles, all of them, set them on fire. A mayor who was a Republican, 37 years for sexually abusing an 8 and 10-year-old girl. A Republican campaign consultant, getting back into the bullshit. A Republican racist pedophile, Strom Thurmond.
Wait a minute. I thought Strom was a Democrat.
He was, and then he switched sides.
Hey guys.
Well,
Sorry,
thank you.
would start the what is it? Bedtime routine.
Yeah, sure. How was your shower?
Refreshing.
Mm-hmm. You took one. Busted. Campaign contributors. And then it instantly goes to accused of, charged with, not convicted of, and yeah, and the rest are charges. Up there, there's 22 of them, and a good 9 are, I'm not defending these people at all. They can all burn in hell for being pieces of shit. You don't do that to kids. You don't fuck with children, period. Let alone forcing yourself on somebody, no matter what the age is. But they managed to squeeze out 20, claiming accused of and convicted, when really it's
Some
4 in the
convicted.
party.
Well,
no,
no,
yeah, like-
I mean, if you, because we do the same thing. So I'm gonna fence sit here and just say, if you identify as a Republican, you're a Republican. If you're registered as a Republican, you're a Republican. Same for the DNC, though. If you self-identify as a Democrat, you vote Democrat, and you're on the DNC voter rolls, you're a Democrat. So I bet you that if we bother to take the time and go through a list of shitty fucking people accused of that, like just probably per state, you could go down the list and identify what party these people belong to. You could fill up a list of a lot of people, probably on both parties, honestly. But I would bet
Absolutely.
that
Power is a disgusting power for the sake of power. That's what these people. I don't like politicians. I mean, I like Tom Massey. I occasionally like Ron Paul.
If the fast rebuttal I came up with those that I didn't bother typing because I was in the middle of doing something other and it's not that important to me. But the first thing that came to my mind was when they have a list like that is like, yeah, how many people are in the San Francisco Gay Man's Choir? Because you can literally just list all of them and they would all qualify in counter to what you've just said about Republicans. Because they all admitted that they want to come after kids.
I brought that up in I was like, listen, nobody had a problem with RuPaul's Drag Race except the extremists. Season 1. And then 5 years later, we've got a Gay Man's Choir saying we're coming for your kids. And Drag Queen Story Hour.
Right.
The left literally raised a shit for indoctrination when it was coffee with cops. You know, a local coffee chain or restaurant would serve you drinks where you could have a conversation with police that didn't effectively take place around the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your life. Because let's face it, when you interact with cops, at best, you're getting a speeding ticket, which is $155 minimum. And at worst, your daughter got in a car accident. She's never coming back. The worst days of your life are with cops. Followed closely by, maybe if you're lucky, a cat gets pulled out of a tree by a firefighter, and it wasn't all of your worldly possessions going up in flames. But you know what they never do? There's never meal with morticians. And that absolutely is. There's no good setting in which you're having a conversation with a morgue attendant. At best, you're on an elevator. You're both going to the same place. But usually someone's dead. Hi, I'm Jason with Meals with Morticians. We're an advocacy group for better public relations with morgue attendants. We were thinking about doing a cookout, but no one would eat at our crematorium. God, that's fucking dark. Don't mind me. I'm just entertaining myself here.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. Well, whatever. Much like the news, there was nothing good to pick from, nothing funny. It's getting harder to make jokes and being snide about stuff, and I don't, maybe that's just my mood, I don't know, but kind of irritating.
don't worry, pretty soon.
Did Steven get you Dungeons and Dragons yet?
No. What did he get me the other day? He got me it was something the other day. Oh, that thing we were talking about. Jumper.
Oh, with Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet, no. But if you could get on Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. Oh, yeah. Which is important that it's Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves, because Dungeons and Dragons is just fucking everything. So this is like a small campaign within the D&DU.
Well, it's Forgotten Realms, if I'm not mistaken.
D&DCU? So Dungeons and Dragons Cinematic Universe?
Well, no, it's Forgotten Realms. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if they mention Elminster, but I imagine they do. Probably Dritzt as well. So, but I've been waiting for them to do a decent rendition of Dragonlance for I don't know, ever. And now I don't want them to do it because I know they won't do it well. And now I really don't want to do it because the main protagonist of the entire story is half elven, and Wizards of the Coast has said no more half races because they're racists, apparently.
Oh, it's true. We did this one orc. We all ended up being orcs for like no real reason. This was actually at a place called Neutral Grounds. It's a coffee shop / gaming spot.
That's smart. That's a good name too. Kudos.
Yeah. And grounds and it really started to get about racial purity in the middle. And we're all like, I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. This is hilarious. And like the other just random ass nerds are like, is this getting weird to anybody else? And I'm like, I'm just enjoying the hell out of it. Just keeping my mouth shut. Like, this is so good.
Well, and canonically, half elves, the elves hate. Elves hate half elves, so that's like cooked in to the lore.
But the elves need half elves
Why?
because they don't breed. There's the shallows, right? The swan or the flying shallows. One dives shallow and the other dives shallow. You get a shallow diver. One dives deep, one dives shallow. You can get a deep diver. If both dive deep, they plummet to the earth. That's that, but pregnancy. If you're fighting a war, you need half elves as cannon fodder.
Okay.
Because you're just, for some reason, they have experience. It takes a long time to have an elven baby and a dwarven baby.
There's never any half dwarves. I've never run a campaign or even heard of anybody run a half dwarf.
Oh yeah. I haven't personally.
Like, is there even a write up for half dwarves? Because there's a write up
Yeah.
for half elves, half orcs, tieflings, which are technically halves.
Half dragons.
Yeah, which is stupid, but whatever. I mean, I guess.
Who's raping there and surviving?
Right. Well, and dragons lay eggs, so how does that work? I mean, I get it. It's polymorph and blah 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 whatever. But yeah, I've never heard about half dwarves.
Yeah. There's what, hill dwarves?
Well, there's gully dwarves, which are even smaller than normal dwarves. They're kind of like goblins and dwarves.
But bigger than halflings.
Gross. But yeah, I've never seen a write up for half dwarf. Whereas you get to be half elf, half orc, half dragon, half demon, or half angel, as the case may be. Which
You'd be a half hobbit, which would be a quarterling.
Yeah, but what's the other half? Like, I could see where like a half dwarf would be a halfling and a dwarf. That would make some sense.
Yeah, but it'd be a quarterling if it was a human and a halfling.
Well, no, it'd be a 3/4ling. Or 3/5, as the case may be.
Well, that's not even a person.
Ouch. Too soon? Did we get it too soon on that one, too?
That's why I get hate content. I get it now.
Oh, God. But yeah, and the thing that they never delve into is for the half-elves. Who are the parents? Like, I'd be willing to bet it's mostly human mothers.
Oh, it's always human mothers, especially for orcs.
Yeah, for orcs, definitely, but for elves too, which means that the elven dudes are out there
I don't know. Aragorn.
tagging the women's.
Aragorn got himself a elven woman.
Well, that's a thing they never bring up either. In Tolkien, Elrond is supposed to be half elven. Although he seems to live just as long as every other goddamn elf. I absolutely hate what Wizards of the Coast has done to good products thought up by better companies.
Wizards of the Coast or Chosen of the Coast. You know what I'm saying? Chosen.
Probably not.
It was bought by the Jews. It was bought by the Jews.
When?
Drinking it early? Google it, man.
Google
Wikipedia.
it. I'm not gonna.
Google it.
I'm not gonna fucking Google it.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast was bought
I
by,
don't want to be on your lists.
Yeah. My lists are the best lists. we all carpool together because we can't get flights.
But yeah, I mean, they had some good products back in the day. Magic is still a decent product. I mean, they've screwed it into the ground, but it was a good concept and it's a good game.
Are they getting rid of black and white decks?
I have no idea. I don't think you can. I think the balance of that game is so fine across the 5 choices that if they're going to get rid of anything, they'd get rid of blue. But they've modified them all so that to be PC, which is fucking ridiculous.
What if we didn't have a white wizard? We had a neutral wizard. Blacks can have gray hair. Gray wizards. Gandalf was gray once.
Well, it's just, there's no evil anymore. There's no good or evil, apparently, anymore. There's just, certain points of view, apparently.
No, I'm pretty sure they're still evil if you try to defend a certain thing from happening. Like, come on, there's no way hobbits aren't a form of evil for being homogenous.
Yeah, they ruined TSR's property. They've ruined, well, I guess it's Hasbro that... Does Hasbro own Wizards of the Coast? They might. I know they own Catalyst, and Catalyst has screwed up, who was the original creator and company for BattleTech? No, I can't, it was in my head 30 seconds ago, now it's gone. Damn it. Damn it, it's gone. Whatever. But yeah, all of the nerd properties have been fully invaded and lib-washed. That's not even a good term, but leftist.
Hasbro.
Washed.
Yep.
What about Hasbro?
Hasbro bought it in 1989. Wizards of the Coast bought Dungeons and Dragons in 97. And it was bought by Hasbro 2 years later.
Pretty sure Hasbro owns Catalyst as well.
Wizards of the Coast began publishing the Pokemon trading card game after it acquired the rights in 98. So Hasbro owns Pokemon too.
Which might be the single biggest IP out there. Like, as popular as Magic was, Pokemon was bigger.
Hasbro bought Wizard of the Coast for $325 million.
God,
Money well spent.
Yeah, they stole it. How much did Wizards pay for TSR?
MTG. I'm not finding it on here. Yeah, I'm not finding it on here. OGO. They lost the rights to Pokemon in 2003 to Nintendo.
They lost the rights?
Yeah.
Hasbro did?
Yep.
Oof.
Well, technically Wizards of the Coast did, but yeah.
FASA, that's who was the original creators of BattleTech. Yeah, and then I think Hasbro bought them as well. Well, Catalyst got the rights to it, and then Hasbro bought Catalyst.
Nerds.
Dude, Disney and Hasbro own your childhood, apparently. All childhood, apparently.
Yeah, they can definitely bite my ass because I don't like them. Like they like these toy companies, they're absolutely far too concerned with toys than with the customers. Masters of the Universe came out and they're like, kill off the characters they love and give us new characters so we can sell new toys. Orson Welles directed Hanna-Barbera is a TV company.
And I don't think I never had a Space Ghost toy or a Flintstones toy, so they weren't even in the toy market really. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they were a huge component of childhood because of cartoons and stuff.
But yeah, and along with Transformers, first thing they did was kill off Optimus Prime. You know,
Well,
it was
became Robot Jesus.
yeah, it was all about selling toys instead of making a thing. That's why I give a lot of credit to Super Mario Brothers. That shit show that was Super Mario Brothers.
The 93
It was
Marvy? Or just
the
in general?
the only in my perspective. No,
Oh, hang on. I have to address this real quick. Garrett just
What?
said that Disney didn't even have good movies until the late 80s or the 90s. And
I've seen Fantasia.
yeah, I mean they had good movies in up until Walt died. And then there was this late 60s to the mid 80s that were bad, but they made Bedknobs and Broomsticks, they made The Cat from Outer Space. I believe they did all of the Benji movies, so they were still a significant part of my childhood.
Oh.
The Fox and the Hound,
Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie movies, yeah.
The Ghost in Mr. Fish? Ghost? What's that?
The
Don
Rescuers,
Knotts. Oh yeah, the Rescuers.
The Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they kind of had this weird soft merger with the Henson Company. And like all the Muppet stuff was kind of Disney, but kind of not.
Muppets are fine. Raggle is communist.
Fraggle Rock.
Anything with Raggle in it. Fraggle, things like that. Raggle Rock, communism.
Well, I mean, Jim was freaking a hippie and a half.
Communist half hippie. But yeah, they Fraggle Rock was all about the collective. He's forward another day. Down on Fraggle Rock.
I never had HBO as a kid, so I never watched Fraggle Rock. I was aware of Fraggle Rock, but I never watched it.
I'd loved Dark Crystal and the Labyrinth.
The Dark Crystal was... That's where you really kind of learned that the Henson Company was dark. Like, it had a dark streak in it. And going back and looking at some of Jim Henson's original work with the Proto-Kermit, that dude was... I mean, he may have been a hippie, but man, he had a dark streak in him.
I always thought Kira was kind of a Proto-Kermit.
Who?
Kira from Dark Crystal?
Well, by that time, Kermit was famous just for being Kermit.
Yeah, but like her face structure
Yeah.
was very Kermity.
Yeah.
But I've never seen like a Proto Kermit. Like I figured that just had to be like the way the mouth for a hand had to look.
It's a sock puppet that they, put some felt covering on originally, glued some eyes to it. That's how that came about. And then they figured they could put arms on sticks on them and gave them arms. It wasn't until the Muppet movie that we saw that Kermit had legs, and man, was that weird looking.
Have you ever seen the Crypt Keeper walk?
No.
Oh my god. It's not good. Holy flat face. What is wrong with you, Kermit?
You looking at the old coffee ads?
Yeah, I typed in original Kermit.
Yeah, he straight up, like, shoots people, runs them over with a truck. It's just dark. It's really dark shit for a puppet.
It's like if he's half Stewie here. Good lord. Vertical or football head. What's going on here? Learn something new every day. Learn something new every day down here in Fraggle Rock.
Dun dun.
Yeah, I just said I don't care for the toy companies killing off their golden gooses to get lesser geeses.
Well, they should. Well, who owns G.I. Joe? That's Hasbro, right?
Yeah.
Nobody died except for Grunts. Died in any of the G.I. Joe stuff. They would just add new people.
They killed off Duke in 2. The second one.
The movie?
But no, I'm talking about in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s. The G.I. Joe cartoon was huge, and they never killed anybody except for, the faceless Cobra soldiers. And even
well,
then,
no,
not
in the cartoons, in the movies.
Oh.
So Dolph Lundgren, the star of He-Man Masters of the Universe, they put in, they changed everybody around.
Yeah, I don't.
They had Man-at-Arms, but
I don't think they had full rights to everything for that movie.
They did. They had all the rights. They wanted a new toy line. You got Skeletor, you got He-Man. They changed Ortho into whoever the fuck Billy Boy played. Within budgetary concerns, they couldn't have a floating shadow thing that was Ortho. But
Orko.
Ortho is Beetlejuice.
Yes. The fat guy.
Orko. Yeah. So they changed everybody around, flip flopping and doodadding, and they added lizard people and Blade Master, and what every good '80s movie needs, Courtney Cox. It's one of her first roles, and she was cute in it.
You know how she got famous? Do you know the story of how she got famous?
Is it blowjobs and Harvey Weinstein? Because
no, it's a little more sweet and pure than that. But basically, kind of, if you insinuate where that went, because that's where that went. She was at a Bruce Springsteen concert up front, and Bruce pulled her up on stage.
I did see a video of her dancing with Bruce Springsteen.
That's where she got famous. That was literally her first thing. And I don't know
She's
if
doing
that
like
was
the Carlton.
Yeah, but that's where it's kind of like the story of Pam Anderson, where she was at an event and the camera found her and the camera liked her, sort of thing, and that's how they get famous.
I believe you're talking about the story of one Canadian Lauren Southern.
Well, Pam Anderson was Canadian at the time. Yeah, Pam Anderson broke the ground that Southern later also trod.
She was in the audience, and the camera panned to her, and 64 white old men allowed her to talk for 6 minutes, and that's the history we have today.
And whatever happened to Faith Goldie?
She went off the deep end.
She probably got the herp, and it will not stop manifesting on her lips, so she can't do podcasts right now.
Oh, so she went down the Rosie O'Donnell role.
Oh, yeah. You noticed?
Hard not to when she puts him front and center with a low angle on her camera right in front of her fucking, food hole. Jesus Christ.
Like, zoom out, Rose. Jeez.
Yeah, hide that shit, you fucking heathen.
Just because it's flesh color doesn't mean we can't see it.
I didn't realize she was my age.
Who, Southern?
No, Faith Goldie.
I was going to say Rosie O'Donnell? No.
She's older than I am. I still can't believe she was fucking Betty Rubble. Like, you want to talk about a miscasting, miscarriage of justice, that would be it.
Yeah, they tried.
There was I saw a meme of pictures of it said if you'd have told a 10-year-old version of yourself that at some point in time Roseanne Barr would look better than Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture of Roseanne on some talk show, and Madonna today. I was like, oh my god, that hurts so much.
Yep, I posted a meme on my Facebook a while back that was just that. It's like, imagine going back to 1990 and telling the world that someday Roseanne Barr would be way more attractive than Madonna.
No, I believed you when you said Trump would be president, but this goes too far, sir.
Right? Like, yeah, if they made Back to the Future today, good lord.
Oprah told me 2 years ago Donald Trump should run for president, but I don't believe that. Madonna? Well, I've never particularly found attractive.
No, I mean, she gussied up well for, like, the Vogue era. She gussied up real well. But, yeah, like, even when she was new with, like, Lucky Star and like a Virgin and all that stuff, she wasn't overly attractive. She was just hyper stylish, which is what got her notoriety. She wasn't, like, hot. Like, if you wanted the hot starlet, you went for Debbie Gibson or Tiffany at the time.
A little Suzanne Hoff.
Well, yeah, except Suzanne Hoff is actually talented. The other ones are just Pop Tarts.
Well, so you know.
Yes, super hot. And still is, apparently. And then for a half second, Belinda Carlisle was too, but I never particularly liked Belinda Carlisle.
I did.
Who else was there? Pat Benatar.
Vanity.
Yeah.
She got naked just as much as Madonna did. Thank you, Vanity. Bless you, child. Whew, bless you, child.
Yeah, it's interesting that how many of the mainstream stars of the 80s and 90s have lost the fucking plot.
Well, I think it has to do with them not believing they're worth it.
What do you mean?
The money they make, like Telly Savalas, world famous fucking jagoff, probably may have made $600,000 at the height of his career.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, each Friends actor is making $1.1 million per episode.
And that's back when episodes were like 23 to 24 shows a season.
Yeah, 22 minutes apiece instead of like 26 minutes.
Well, no, but yeah, I guess they were, weren't they? Yeah.
But like they're, I mean, granted they were studio stars and whatnot, so there was a difference between them. But you're talking about a time when, like, everybody in the country watched it. There was arguably more people watching Kojak than any episode of Friends ever. Every family sat down together and watched Kojak.
I think you could say that maybe about MASH, but I don't think you can say that about Kojak.
Yeah, okay, MASH. Yeah, all right, very, very well. So, Alan Alda, well, what's his network? You know, it's like these people are. It's not the same anymore. They're making too much, and they don't think they're doing enough for it. Because let's face it, acting isn't hard. Now, arguably what they do in the MCU is insane. Like, there's movies out there where you have to pretend everything.
Well, that's all modern big budget stuff. I mean, except for like Top Gun. But yeah, anything that's all the major movies are half cartoon, if not more cartoon than live action.
Well, yeah, but like Blade Runner, Harrison Ford's Blade Runner, almost everything was real. Like, all right, so
sets. I mean, it wasn't like real as depicted, but they were all practical
props.
effects.
They were props, yeah.
Yeah, they're all practical effects.
Yeah. Like, there was a llama on set.
Right.
Even though it's terrible to work with animals. Looking at you, Clive. But, like certain parts of movies, yeah. The there might be a matte painting in the background, or a green screen that a matte painting is going to be laid on, but you're not acting to the background.
Right.
But Chris Pratt is talking to a girl in green, a tennis ball at the height of a rodent, and a tennis ball on a stick the size of Groot, and a half-naked Dave Bautista. Having fun, Garrick?
Yeah.
Are we interrupting your shows?
I think this guy is about to burn his asshole off.
That's probably a mistake.
Hmm.
And the flames come out of the butthole.
But so they feel that they're making too much for what it is, so they have to make these public service announcements and be the voice of reason or whatever, and guide us fools into the new light. Plus, because they're part of the what's it called, the cathedral, they have to preach to you now, or else you're not going to get the next role that they want.
Yeah, well, Hollywood is dead. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Like Lance Henriksen is an example of an actor who firmly believes if you're not acting, you're not an actor. And so he's lucky enough to have ended up in a lot of cult classics, as well as great roles in general. Bishop from the Alien series. He was Waylon in the Yutani, well, not Yutani, but the Predator series. Mm-hmm. So he had a lot of great roles, as well as Pumpkinhead and various others. Robert Englund is another cult classic guy. But Dean Cain made a couple of big movies in the 90s and was for a long time the longest running superhero on TV, and especially for DC in a live action role. And he made a couple $1 million and now gets to pick and choose his movies, and they're usually lower budget. And a couple of his latest ones he's written or directed, as well as doing producing roles.
Well, let's face it, he's half blackballed because of
politics. but he's also doing movies he wants to do. Well, Kevin Sorbo's got a couple million in the bank. Christy Swanson's got a couple million in the bank. They come to now. Dean lives in L.A. On the outside of L.A. when he's not in one of his other homes. I think he's a police officer in Idaho, or maybe not Idaho. Maybe it's I know it's not New Orleans. That's Steven Seagal.
Oh, Steven Seagal was out here for a while too, pretending to be a cop. Shaq was out here pretending to be a cop for a while too.
I imagine getting pulled over by Shaq.
Yeah, no, that's not what Shaq did. He never went on patrol like that, but he did do internet crimes against children was his big thing, and he was the face of it. So he would go out on busts for that, but he wasn't doing patrol.
St. Anthony's, Idaho. He's not so much he is a single father. He's raising Chris himself. So, he's got his kid. He's not jet setting to all points unknown. Like,
An island in the Caribbean, perhaps.
I'm not saying that far, but he owns so he lives in Malibu, I think is where it is. But he's also got an Aspen home and one in Ibiza.
He's doing okay for himself, is what you're saying.
What? He's doing okay? Yes, exactly. Couple million in the bank, owns several houses, and he screws around and does what he wants. Kevin Sorbo was in a movie called Toxic Shock where he got to play the mayor, and he's like, you know what would be funny? If this mayor didn't wear pants. And he spent the movie without pants on, while being like a low IQ mayor. Like, he was not helpful at all. He's like, this guy's such an idiot. He's gonna forget pants. How do you forget pants? They're what keeps your legs warm. But the left just like shitting on these people. Like no, that's they're having a good old time. Now Lance has been devoting a lot of time to doing conventions because he's found a love of picking fights with his fans.
Picking fights with.
Yeah. He has his characters, and he gets into like decent arguments with like his fans about different roles he's been in, and the fans love it. Like he'll yell at you for 3 minutes straight, and then go on to the next guy. And he's usually dropping some gem of wisdom about like something that happened during production or something like that. But yeah, if he yells at you enough, he'll have lunch with you. Yell at you some more.
No, you got to respect stars that do that. That go do the convention thing and do the fan thing and actually know where their bread is buttered, as opposed to the studios.
Oh yeah.
Chris Pratt
Well,
kind of did that with Mario.
Yeah. Well, he's an actor doing his role, so he takes his time. He develops his character, and what he's doing is he's getting challenged on his character, and he'll go and he'll defend his character, and he'll probably like have an argument like you think Darth Vader was one of the most villainous characters in horror. Let me tell you about the guy I played in this freaking movie. I'm like, yeah, well, you did kill a bunch of homeless veterans, so he's not a prince by any means. But imagine to get to sit there for 12 minutes and give your stupid theory about teleporters to William Shatner and how they destroy you and create a clone every time they're used. And he sits there and goes like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This was a wholesome family show.
Wolfie's in the chat.
Well, it's been forever.
Hey, Wolf says.
It has been forever.
Yeah. But so that's I would love to talk to William Shatner about Devil's Reign if I ever get a chance.
You think Bill gets any talk and any chatter about T.J. Hooker?
I mean, what's his nut from Grease 2 probably does. Amid was there nuggets, but yeah, that'd be kind of fun though if you think about it. Like 10,000 people in a row hit you up about some Captain Kirk related bullshit, and
Yeah, I wanted there to be a nerd out there that goes deep into the T.J. Hooker lore.
yeah, how do you slide across the hood of a,
That would be so awesome.
if you're wearing your holster at 4:00, how do you slide across the hood of a 1973 like a kid? I heard this interesting thing about teleporters the other day. Let's talk about that. What movie was that? There was I think it might have been Hollywood Homicide or something like that, where they go a guy slid across the he goes, you ever slide across your hood? And he slides across the hood. He goes no, because the holster leaves marks like that on the hood. He goes,
Yeah,
oh
that was Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy. It was that movie.
oh, so that was not Metro, but
No, I keep thinking, but that's not it.
so that wasn't Hollywood Homicide, which was Harrison Ford.
Because I've seen where Bill will get the occasional, what was it, Boston Legal question? Was that what the show he was on, Boston Legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get the occasional
Wait.
question for that. But
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever come to him with a TJ Hooker question. Like, that should be a thing that people do, is like go to cons and talk to the actors about their least famous shit.
Or like their first, or not maybe not their first, but like their third role. Like, wow, Sarah Michelle Gellar, you are Buffy. I have a question about your 1991 Burger King commercial.
Totally. Yeah, something like that.
Was it really 2 all beef patties? It was the size of your head.
Or go up to Jesse Eisenberg and say, hey, where's your sister? I want to talk to her about being the Pepsi girl.
Yeah, I love Pepsi because of your sister. Michael, Sarah, you were great in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. What's it like to be wear jeans for a role? Hey, wait, what? Yeah, you played.
Well, wasn't he also the? Wasn't his first thing Arrested Development?
Michael Cera?
Yeah, wasn't he the nephew on?
I never
Arrested
watched it.
Development? Pretty sure that was his first thing.
Well, was it filmed in Canada?
No idea, but yeah, it was. His whole arc there was that he was. I think he might have even been what's his nuts, Bateman's son, and then he was in a sexual relationship with his cousin.
Because I would have said it was super bad, or no, Juno.
I saw a picture of.
Oh, Frequency 2000. Yeah, he was a kid in Frequency.
Or just talk to a star about their worst outing.
Yeah, like no one will believe me. Who do you want to talk shit about?
Like, I guess you could for Jared Leto it'd be Morbius. Heavy in Morbius.
Hey, Felicity Rose. Did you know you were a dude the whole time in Sleepaway Camp? I don't think Felicity Rose killed anybody in Sleepaway Camp. Her brother, which is not even her brother, it's her cousin or whatever, played. He actually was in a wig. You could see in the new high definition, the 4K movies. It's him in her wig, in a silhouette. And it's light enough on the screen that you can see it's him. And it's like, now did she kill everybody or did she just kill her boyfriend? Because that's in the question. But she was recently in a movie with called Victor Crowley, and she gets her arm ripped off and shoved up inside herself until it comes out the other side. And it's gross. It's actually really gross. And I was like, no, if it doesn't work that way, the elbow joint wouldn't lock up like that. But it'd be nice to be like, what was it like being replaced by Bruce Springsteen's sister for Sleepaway Camps 2 and 3 and then come back in 4?
Like, if I went to a con and I know he doesn't really do them, but if Patrick Stewart was there, I'd be talking to him about Excalibur. I wouldn't be talking to him about anything Star Trek related or Marvel related. I'd be like, tell me about Excalibur.
I would go after his role in Life Force, which he admits his first on-screen kiss is with Steve Railsback in Life Force. When you were filming Life Force, especially like the height of X-Men,
Yeah.
it's like I've been playing Professor X for 9 years. Be like, oh, that's great. My question is about your time on the movie Life Force that killed Cannon. Or no, it killed Golden Globus. Which is saying something because Jean-Claude Van Damme movies could even kill that franchise. Or kill that production company.
Well, there's a market for bad Van Damme movies, just because bad Van Damme. So, I mean,
I will turn on and go to sleep to Cyborg.
it is bad. Oh, I forgot how delicious. It's as bad as Commando.
Oh no, those are. God damn it!
Yeah, you know I'm right.
It's been a while since I watched Commando, but yeah.
Continuity errors and all.
Yeah.
And as much as I love it, I have to say the same thing about Soldier. Soldier's not a good movie.
Well, Soldier has a fucked up story behind well, not fucked up. It's just
how they had to film it.
How they had to film it, yeah. It's fucked up, man. The guy was injured. Well, maybe not fucked up. Maybe that was the wrong choice of words. Maybe continuity was probably the issue. Yeah, I remember the first time I ever saw continuity error was in a Stallone movie called Cobra.
Good movie.
Yeah, and he sits down and pulls out, because he's got such a good life, Cobra, Marion Cobretti. Then he pulls cold pizza out from the fridge and cleans his gun, and yeah, there's like 16 continuity errors like right in a row with the pizza, cutting the piece off the pizza and pulling out his gun and dropping the mag. It's just back to back. I've got filmed like twice, and I was like, "Whoa, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen." Like, oh, so that's a continuity error. That's a thing, huh?
Well, yeah, it's like in Commando, where the Porsche, the yellow Porsche, is actually in better shape at the end of the movie than it was 15 minutes prior, where they basically destroy it.
Yeah. There's but that was like my first experience with a continuity error.
Yeah, I don't remember what mine was. I'm not good at catching them because I got a good suspension of disbelief, so I don't catch a lot of them. But when they stand out to me, you know they're egregious.
Yeah. Well, this one, like, he pulls his gun from his pants because he doesn't have a holster, because apparently holsters were allergic in the 80s. And he drops the mag and starts taking apart the gun, and then takes a bite of pizza and does the whole thing over again. It's like, whoa, didn't you just... Okay.
Gonna do that again, apparently.
Yeah. That sometimes happens. Like editors don't pay attention, or are naive, or ignorant, or whatever.
Right.
Like there's John Wick does a fairly good job of keeping an accurate bullet count. Now, there's been a couple times where John Wick has loaded a 17-round mag and shot 12 and dropped the mag. That's called a combat reload. That's a thing.
Yeah.
You, in general, would want to keep those 5 rounds, but I could see a professional hitman not caring about his 5 rounds and wanting to tap off because there's 13 motherfuckers coming at you still.
Right.
But there was a scene in the third one. He's given a gun. It's got 7 shots. He uses them. 7 shots, gun's empty. And then he proceeds to go to 29, 54, 71 round Glock mags. I'm like, oh, you guys switched editors, didn't you? Because I'm pretty sure that's the 27th round through that pistol with your standard size 17 round magazine.
Right. Well, and what they should have done is just cut in a mag swap at some point along that timeline.
And he does 600 of them a day, so it's not like he isn't fluent.
Yeah, I watched a video earlier today about he is no joke good at the range.
Yeah.
For all the training he did to accurately depict that character.
Yeah, there's videos of him talking to what's the guy's name? Shit. Mark, Matt, Mitchell. Anyway, he's training with he's training with like Terran Tactical. That's the company. They make the Combat Master, which is the pistol he uses, the Glock conversion. In 2 and 3, not in the original, he uses Heckler and Kochs in the first one with a backup Glock 26. But Terran Tactical, he's having a conversation with somebody, and he's just dropping the mag, finger indexing, and sliding it back in the whole conversation, not looking at it or anything. He's just practicing muscle memory the entire conversation. He doesn't flounder or flutter once in just muscle memory reloading his pistol in his workspace. That's like, when I do that on the couch, I look stupid. You sir look badass. But he's got like him and Halle Berry. There's videos on Terran Tacticals of them practicing, and it looks really cool. Who else was out there? Shane from The Walking Dead. He was doing the Punisher.
Yeah.
So he was out there. I just saw somebody. I think I saw Pierce Brosnan out there the other day, maybe.
I think it's hilarious that Hollywood has to utilize their services so frequently and so well for something that they all profess to hate.
Yeah, looking at you, gunman.
Showtime.
Sean Penn.
Showtime is the name of the movie with Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah. Who's this? Thomas Jane? Oh, Thomas Jane and John Barenthal. So that's 2 Punishers.
Thomas Jane went out and trained with him too?
He's training with Thomas Jane and John Barenthal are training together. So there might be some kind of weird crossover for the Punisher.
Well, I mean, it depends on how they're going to pull him in. Could be a part of the Daredevil show, the upcoming Daredevil show.
Are they going multi-universe?
Yes. Well, and that's my understanding is that Marvel is going to use Deadpool 3 and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to do a multiverse thing that gets the mutants and Deadpool into the MCU. And along with that, we've already seen them pull Daredevil in through She-Hulk. But he's getting his own show, and one of the main, I won't say protagonists, but like rivals to Daredevil is the Punisher. So they're probably going to have to meld the two together somehow.
Yeah, I don't care for Post Malone.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, he was in the middle of these John Wick videos from Terran Tactical.
Oh.
So maybe Post Malone's in John Wick 4.
Yeah, Post Malone has kind of dropped off the radar in the last 5 years. I haven't heard anything about him for a while.
Okay, yeah, so it's there are 3 multiverse Spider-Mans, 2 Batmans. We had our own multiverse Punishers at Terran Tactical today. Garand Thumb is pretending to be John Wick in front of Keanu Reeves. That's not funny.
So if you went to a con and you talked to Keanu Reeves, what would you talk to him about?
Babes in Toyland. Did he have to learn how to spell Cincinnati?
I would probably go with talking to him about Constantine or Johnny Mnemonic because those are the ones that interest me the most. But honestly, I think I'd want to talk to him about Dangerous Liaisons.
I'd probably just I want to ask him. Okay, so this is a serious thing with
I'd ask him about
what, Garrett?
I'd ask him about Something's Gotta Give.
He wasn't in Something's Gotta Go.
But he was.
One of us is thinking of the wrong movie. Who's in Something's Gotta Give, Garrick?
Keanu Reeves.
With Jack Nicholson and Dan Keaton?
Mm-hmm.
Amanda Peet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
John Favreau.
He's got third billing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I can name like 10 people in that movie, and I do not remember Keanu Reeves in it.
He's the doctor.
Fucking DJ Time was a waiter in that movie. God damn it, he was the doctor.
The kid got you. How does that
He
make you
did.
feel?
I was like, John Favreau's in that movie. I got
Yes, you are. You.
Patrick Flesher. He was the stage manager. You know, like I got there was extras. I was like, I know that extra. I know that. Yeah, it's the extra from God damn, he was her doctor. Oh, anyway, so Keanu Reeves and God damn it, I hate everybody right now. Oh, Winona Ryder. We're in Dracula, and they filmed a scene in like the marriage scene where there was a wedding, and it was a real church and a real Romanian priest did the ceremony, and I want to know, honest to God, if he believes he is married to Winona Ryder, and if they've done anything about it, to let God know that they're not married. Like, did you lie to the baby Jesus? So,
Well, and that was back at the time that she was with
not
Johnny
a
Depp.
kleptomaniac crazy.
Right, well, that too. But she was with Johnny Depp, wasn't she?
Probably what? Like, when was Edward Scissorhands come out?
But when was Dracula out? Like, I'm not, there it is. 92.
So Edward Scissorhands was what, 90?
Maybe?
Yeah, I'll go with them still being together.
And was that before or after Heathers? It's probably after Heathers.
Hmm.
Let's see. Winona Ryder.
Heather's was 88. Right?
Hang on, I'll tell you.
Yeah, because
It was
Beetlejuice and
88.
Heather's was the same year.
Yes, they were.
Hmm.
Beetlejuice comes out, gets an earlier release date, I guess. Beetlejuice first, then Heathers.
Hmm.
The next year, she played pregnant
Oh.
bride Debbie Gibson in Mojo Nixon's Debbie Gibson is Pregnant with My Two-Headed Love Child, I think it was what it's called. Yeah, Two-Headed Love Child.
I typed in, has Winona Ryder ever been married? And the first thing is the conversation about Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder secretly wed on. The conversation is 7 hours old, so I would not be asking about that because apparently everyone is asking about that.
Okay, that I didn't know. I didn't realize that Mojo Nixon was the Koopa in the original Super Mario Brothers movie. That's weird. Or no, he was Toad.
He's a harmonica player.
Mojo Nixon?
Yeah, Toad. He was a Koopa Troopa.
Yeah. I just thought he was a musician. I didn't realize he was doing acting too. I had no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it acting.
I can believe it. He's no Tom Waits.
For the longest time, I thought I can't even think of the guy's name. Anyways, I for some reason I thought he looked exactly like Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, like just a spitting image. I was like,
Yeah. Put the right hat on him and he does. He looks exactly like him.
yeah. Took me a minute to get to Dwight Yoakam, but I had said something about that the other day. Like, but he's such a piece of shit. What was that? What was that movie he was fucking awful in?
Which one?
Was it Seven Psychopaths? See him that? Yeah. Yeah, screw you, Renfield. Eat another fly. Speaking of, is that out yet?
I don't think it is. I think it's coming out next month.
Speaking of, have you seen Prisoners in the Ghostland yet?
No. I feel terrible about it. I haven't seen. I need to sit down and watch the John Wicks too, and I haven't done that yet either.
I wouldn't bother.
With the John
They're
Wicks.
they're
Or Pig.
John Wicks. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good, but they're not. They're good. I mean, they're good movies, but they're not going to change your life in any way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Get to them when you can, and you'll be entertained for 2 hours.
Oh shit! It's out now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's already out. I haven't heard anything about it. It must have come out this weekend.
It's
no,
Did-
John Wick. What did you
It's the
expect?
14th.
Did-
Yeah, so it came out on Friday.
Did John Wick 4 change your life, Wolfie? They're good movies. Don't get me wrong. But
I've heard the first one's really good. The second and third are meh, and the last and at 4 is actually really good too.
depends if you like lore or not. I like lore.
I prefer Data, but okay.
I prefer Q. And go fuck yourself. I don't prefer Q. I don't know. I just wanted to tell you go fuck yourself. God, I hate Q actually.
Yeah.
And I said lore, not Worf. She didn't answer my question. Did it change your life? They're fun movies, but they're absolutely nothing you ever have to think about again. Which is nice for certain movies. I really don't like thought-provoking movies. Yes,
I don't know. I'm still kind of in the conundrum with the Thanos saga, and the MCU are really thought-provoking movies.
What if cat was spelled D-O-G? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'll take that second.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like
Express.
Pineapple Express when Rosie Perez gets the absolute shit kicked out of her. I enjoyed that.
Well, it is a little cathartic. I will give it
Just
that.
absolutely beat to shit. I was like, this is when I go to hell. Probably worth it. But like the John Wick movies are good, but I don't think there's much that's quotable.
Well, it's not the 80s, and he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger or Stallone, so yeah, I mean, that's... Or James Bond, for that matter. There's really haven't been any good action movies with, quippy quotes in the last 20 years.
Yeah, but there's a Swan line, and it tickles me to no end. It's actually an Ian McShane line from Seekers, the Dark Rising Light. Anyways, he's a caretaker of this mystical fuckery. And he tells the little kid, like, you're the seventh son, and you've got these mystical powers, blah, blah, blah. And the kid goes, so, like, can I fly? He goes, can you what? It's just the way he delivers that line. Like, can you what? But I don't know. I prefer quoting comedies to, like, taglines like, I'll be back, or hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, dude, Running Man. Just the cheesy one-liners, and like Bond movies, the cheesy one-liners.
There's like eating movies where you just something so stupid like eat a bowl of fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Or shut that bitch up, or I'm gonna come over and fuck start her head. It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, like there's a scene and they give Freddy Krueger Robert Englund, they give him so much credit for Welcome to Primetime, bitch. But I'm like, you just smashed her face to a TV. What's Welcome to Primetime about? Like the line is a good line, but it doesn't make sense. It's no Here's Johnny. The character's name is John. He's through a door. It's the classic introduction of Johnny Carson. It works. Welcome to Primetime, bitch, has a woman's head shoved through a TV.
Well, it's like when was it True Lies where Arnie? I think it was True Lies where Arnie breaks the guy's neck on the airplane, and then puts the pillow over his head and says,
That's
"Don't disturb my
Commando.
friend. He's dead tired."
That's Commando, and there's still a line from True Lies I don't understand to this day. It's Bill Paxton saying, or Pullman? Paxton? God damn it, Bill.
It's Paxton. It's Paxton.
Bill I
It's
believe you.
Built like a 10-year-old boy or something like that.
Ass like a 10-year-old boy. I don't know what that means. Is that a good ass? I mean, you're saying in context, it sounds like it's a good ass. Ass like a 10-year-old. That's right up there with
It's just meant to make him sound and be sleazier because he's a complete sleaze.
In Tremors, Val Kilmer asks for legs that go all the way up, or not Val. Val. I don't remember what Kevin Bacon's last name is. Anyways, Kevin Bacon's character Valentine asked for the new seismologist to have legs that go all the way up. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Can you break that? Legs that go all the way up. Is that a long leg reference? Is that a
legs that don't quit reference?
Is that a no torso reference? Do you not want her to talk? Like, do the legs need to meet the vagina? Because I think they do that naturally. But there's just like lines on go, what does that mean?
But it's supposed to mean you got nice gams.
She needs to have, yeah. But like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. I'll be back is a great fucking line. I'll be back. It's said and it's taken for he will return, but that's a threat. It's not hasta la vista, baby. I think it's better.
It is better. Hasta la vista, baby was...
It's like a catchy, phrasey bullshit.
Right. Like, yeah. It's just, yeah, I'll be back is better. As a memorable... Well, it's kind of like all the quotes you can make out of Aliens.
Yeah. Those are... Yeah.
They're all throwaway. But
yeah,
they're memorable
good.
And they're quippy and they're good. Yeah.
I'll take two left turns if I can make an Aliens quote work in a conversation. I'll steer it into making a conversation work.
Yeah, I've got mine built in.
I got presets.
Yep, I do.
Wait. Just hustling to grab 7 things, and you can only afford to grab 5 of them. It's going to be so good. But yeah, there's certain ones that like the De Niro. You looking at me? It's almost as much fun to destroy that quote as it is to get it right.
Yeah. I don't like that movie, but yeah, it's quotable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a quote. Like,
Well, I mean, same with Scarface. I don't like Scarface as a movie either, but it's quotable.
say hello to my little friend. It's a
Say
great
hello
line.
to my little friend.
And the worst you can deliver it and still be coherent is it gets even better.
Yeah, it's how you're supposed to do it.
Well, that's this. It originally started with lines that were just added to it. Now,
Oh
the
God, go
the
watch
lines.
Running Man.
Yeah, well, no, the line Roddy Piper gives in They Live was like from not like a journal, but like he's a wrestler, so he's got all these
Quips.
lines that he writes out and thinks about
Yeah.
and puts effort into, and he read off 20 or 30 of them. And I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum is the one that won. So it's not like a off the cuff line. Now I want to know if Dom DeLuise from History of the World Part 1 Wash This was off the cuff or if it was written into the script.
It feels like it's off the cuff, but with
Yeah.
Mel Brooks writing the script, you don't know.
Yeah. It could go either way with sitting on a scepter.
Yep.
Wash this. I was watching something behind the scenes the other day, and they were like, you don't go to Mel Brooks and say, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this? You don't do that because you'll get shot down. But if you can make it work in the moment, it'll make it to the film.
Yeah, you have to make him laugh. You can't say, wouldn't it be funny if? It'd be like, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to make you laugh.
Did you hear the story Matt Damon says about The Departed with Jack Nicholson
With
in the
Jack,
script?
yes. But if you leave the camera going.
But if you leave it, just the top of the page, it says shoots a pedestrian.
She fell funny. But if you leave and you can cut it there, but if you leave the camera rolling.
Just, I couldn't imagine doing well, first off, I can't imagine doing impersonating my mom in front of my mom. Like, you better. She should kick my ass. But to do like John Malkovich impersonation in front of John Malkovich, especially John Malkovich, because he doesn't get the joke. That is John Malkovich.
No, who was that guy from Saturday Night Live? What's his name? I can never
Bill
remember
Hader.
his name. Bill Hader, thank you. Yeah, does a perfect John Malkovich.
He did it to John Malkovich.
I
John
know.
Malkovich didn't get it.
I know. He's like, I don't sound like that. It's like, oh yes, I sound exactly like this.
Yeah.
Well, and Hader's got the weirdest impressions. Like, they're completely outdated. John Malkovich, like, okay, I guess. But then,
Well,
like,
he was
his
doing it when he
other
was
big one
12.
is Alan Alda.
Because he was doing it when he was 12. He does a good Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, everybody does an Arnie, though.
Well, he was on he was an assistant for some movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was looking for like the director duo or something like that, and Arnold stops him and goes, well, Rick and Steve no, it was his hair and makeup people. And he goes, I don't know, he goes, find them for me, show me your leadership capabilities. I'm like, yeah, that's Arnold, all right.
Yep.
What's terrible is the writing in Terminator 2. To get to the Hasta La Vista, baby, you had to get through. I need a vacation. Like, you're a robot. You don't need a vacation.
Yeah, everybody seems to love Terminator 2, and I always have felt that it falls well short of the original.
Oh yeah, but it's a different caliber movie. It's Aliens to Aliens 2 in comparison.
Eh. I mean, the
It's
difference
an
being,
indestructible robot coming at you nonstop. Is the same thing as an alien where you can't use a gun because there's acid that'll melt through the bottom of your ship. There's nothing you can do to stop this creature. I mean, there's a million things you can do, but no one's thinking outside the box because you're a waitress in LA. There's about 37 different vehicles you could park on his chest. But you don't think that far ahead because you're a waitress in LA.
right.
And T2 stops all that and gives you your own guy who can do just as much different things. It really is a quite different movie.
Yeah, it is. But it's not as different as Alien and Aliens. Like Alien is a suspense horror movie with a sci-fi setting. Aliens is an action movie. Both Terminator and Alien and Terminator 2 are action movies.
Yeah, I'd say Terminator was more suspense, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a suspense element to it, but it's action. The first Alien, not much explodes, whereas in Terminator, all kinds of shit is getting shot up and exploded.
But doing nothing. It's like all right, so you're looking at it like all right, so Chopping Mall is a robot security guard kills kids inside a shopping mall. That's a horror movie. And there's lasers and explosions and everything. Same thing with Terminator. It is a unmovable or unstoppable object that keeps going for. It's a slasher robot movie, man. It's just action. You're still running from it in the mall or in LA. It's a suspenseful, thrillery, not really thrillery, but it's a horror.
I would not classify it as horror. I'd classify it as action.
You're not the one being chased by the robot.
I'm not saying that. Okay, so then how would Aliens be an action movie and not a horror movie? Because they're being chased by the unkillable thing.
No. An alien is perfectly killable. You can't though, because that alien, you could take that alien on face to face with saw blades and win. You still die because that alien's blood is acid and will drip through the layers of your spaceship until it pours out into space and you die.
I'm talking about Aliens, where they have to get off the planet. They could just go out in the open and then slay them ad nauseum.
It's an action movie. What do you mean?
But how is it not a horror movie if the existential threat is basically the same?
It is a horror movie.
Aliens.
It's a creature. Yeah, it's a horror movie.
But
Come on. Okay, IMDb. Solve this for me.
All right, we'll do that.
You're going to do it too?
Yeah.
I suggest we both do it because I will lie.
Where's it say?
Where's
Action, adventure, sci-fi.
Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Action, adventure, sci-fi thriller.
Which one are you looking at? Alien or Aliens?
Aliens.
I see action, adventure, and sci-fi. I don't see.
Drag your thumb across sci-fi.
Well, I'm not looking on my phone. I'm looking on my computer. So.
Oh, I've got action, adventure, sci-fi, thriller.
Is there a way to expand that? There is not.
Well, I'll send it to you.
All topics. No, that doesn't tell me anything.
All right, now Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It only gives me action, sci-fi.
Okay, so if I go all the way down to genres, you're right. Action, adventure, sci-fi, thriller. So then, yeah, what's T2?
Yeah, action, sci-fi.
Okay, then let's go look at Terminator 1. The Terminator, excuse me.
Terminator 1. That's a action, sci-fi. Damn it.
Yeah. But
No,
if we look
Alien.
at Alien, it'll probably say horror or thriller.
Yeah.
Suspense, is that what?
Horror, sci-fi.
Yep.
I sent Bunny a picture of these tweeters the other day, and now they're popping up everywhere. I'm so unhappy about it because they're such a bullshit pair of tweezers.
Why does it only have 8.5? That's weird.
I wonder how long you're upset with a co-actor who fakes a heart attack during a dining scene. Looking at you, John Hurt. Fucking dick.
Well, I didn't think he was faking a heart attack. He was scripted to act like he was having a heart attack, and I think they all knew that. What they weren't expecting is what was going to happen.
Let's see. I mean, we got it's got to be in the trivia. According to Yaphet Kotto, Sir Ridley Scott told him to annoy Sigourney Weaver off camera so there was genuine tension between the characters. Kotto regrets this because he really liked Weaver. Just don't work with Stanley Kubrick. Jesus Christ. Poor
He makes good movies.
What's her name?
Oh, from The Shining?
Yeah, Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall, yeah. I think he just doesn't like women.
Clearly. H.R. Geiger. Okay. For the chest burster sequence, John Hurt stuck his head, shoulders, and arms through pecs, breast hair. Create the force eggs of the alien, a lot of animal guts, which according to Sigourney Weaver caused the set to smell horribly. The rest of the cast were not told that real blood and guts would be used as to provoke genuine reactions of shock and disgust. Apparently this worked so well that Yaphet Kotto went home in complete shock afterwards, locking himself in his room and refused to talk to his wife for several hours. Xenomorph, 4 minutes. Century Fox, first day of shooting. Jones, the cat. Originally scripted. Alien. She was allergic to the cat. No wonder they killed it off. The rumor that the cast, except for Sir John Hurt, did not know what would happen during the chestburster scene is partially true. Everyone had read the script, which explicitly stated that something would be coming out of Kane's chest, but they did not know specific details. For instance, Veronica Cartwright did not expect to be sprayed with blood, so her reaction was genuine. I don't care for Veronica Cartwright anyway. Sigourney Weaver related that she was suspected something dramatic was about to happen because when they got to set, transparent screens were set up and the crew were wearing raincoats. that is a clue. Yeah. Tom Skerritt admitted years later that he was only beside hurt to know exactly what was coming. He had been following director Sir Ridley Scott around to learn the process of filmmaking. He'd been present during meetings when the chestburster effect was discussed in detail. He was, of course, requested to keep the specifics to himself in order to elicit genuine reactions from the other cast members. But Tom Skerritt also may or may not have made out with like a 15-year-old Drew Barrymore. I personally think he did. For that the Poison Ivy movie. She might have been 16. But no one's talking. Although, oddly enough, Drew Barrymore will say all sorts of other weird stuff. Like during the filming of Charlie's Angels, she had Lucy Liu take boudoir photos of her to send to Tom Green. So good for you, Tom.
Where has Tom Green been?
Canada.
I haven't heard from that dude in a couple of years either.
I'm careless of him. Ooh, why is Ving Rhames trending? Oh. They're trying to decide between Ving Rhames as Cobra Bubbles or Terry Crews.
I'm going to go with Crews.
I don't remember like the size compared to other actors. He was a big blocky dude, but I probably would have gone with Michael Clark Duncan.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah. He's actually not that big. He's like the older sister comes up to his nose, so that's probably just like the standard height difference between a man and a woman. Bunny just sent if the 80s taught me anything, it's that anyone wearing a sweater tied around their neck is a dick. And it reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and those two yuppies at the beginning of the movie shooting out Texas street signs. Uh, I think we can get out of here.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Well,
I
I'd
don't
like to
know.
think so.
I don't think we can shut Garrick up.
Well, I'm looking forward to him stop snoring in my ear.
My wife keeps telling me I'm too loud, so
So I'll text you guys.
All right, let me get back to that. Okay.
And that ends tonight's episode of Whispering Plumbers. I got one. That's all I needed.
All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody. You're missing out on that.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation.